I was leading a call for the foundational course yesterday evening, and I was sharing on commitment to connection. And I came up with a metaphor, and I thought I'd see if I could catch that again and share it with you here. Commitment to connection is really like a cornerstone of this practice. It's, maybe like the basic principle. And that, for me, it's the principle that, that we enter the space with. Maybe a short, direct definition of circling is that it's an exploration of connection as it is already happening, of in the moment connection. And of course, like if we want to enter that connection then, or that process, then there's a willingness required. There's us saying yes to that, like, okay, I'm here to commit to the connection and see, all the things, see and meet all the things that happen when I start exploring what it's like for me to be in connection with others. The first thing that we get to do, like when we enter the space from commitment to connection, is actually start to bring awareness to what is actually alive and true for us in the moment. Like, what is our in the moment truth, which usually lies in the directness of our experience, our embodied state. So if I'm in that space, right, then I get the chance, I'm invited to do that in each moment, to see what is actually alive and true. It's like leaning back into myself, seeing what is true there, and then start to meet others from that place. And the way I shared it yesterday, it's like, imagine all the people being in the space, and then there's this big cauldron, this big cooking pot that's right in the middle of us. And each time that we bring what is true for us into the space or into connection, it's like we're adding an ingredient into the soup. And we don't know what's going to be cooked, but it's this kind of willingness to be in that exploration together, like to really show up from your truth, add the ingredient in, but then also be really open to see what others are putting into the soup. Yeah, so I have this image that we're all like standing and like over the edge of this big cauldron, and we're like constantly seeing what is being transformed by putting all the ingredients in. So it's this idea of, I add in what's true for me, and I'm receiving what's true for you. And there's a possibility of transformation in the connection. But what you'll notice happening is that you'll meet your edges of what you think is allowed to be shared or wanted to be shared. So you might find yourself at that edge, and you're looking like, oh, it looks like it's, broccoli soup. But I actually have this tomato, like, oh, I can't add that in. That's gonna, screw up the soup. But there's still this invitation, like, to really trust the tomato that you're holding and just be open and willing to see, like, oh, what if I put this tomato in? Like, what happens? Yeah, it is really about this kind of like openness and not having to know immediately where it's going. Just be open to what can arise if I do like vulnerably reveal what is there in me. And it also requires like really deep honesty and willingness to really see yourself. Like, it's like, oh, this is actually tomato. It's not like some other vegetable that I would rather have it be. Like, it is an invitation into deep honesty and into deep owning of our experience as well. And to meet your edge, to like become aware of like where normally you would just like kind of like, oh, this tomato, I'll just kind of like hide it, behind my back. I don't want others to see it. Like, to meet where you would kind of habitually maybe move away from the connection or really bring in your truth. It could also potentially be that you're standing there and you're watching people add in ingredients and being in the process of that, and you're like, you know what, guys? Yeah, I'm actually, if I really feel honestly, I'm not hungry at the moment. Like I think I'm fine just standing here for this moment, or maybe I just even want to go away right now and do something else. So it's not about having to add the ingredients in. It is the commitment to connection is also really to your own truth. And that can be to move away from the connection also. But then the invitation would be to like really follow the true impulse there, and to also be in connection about you moving away and not wanting to eat the soup.